Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, 3 of 5 men killed in Jacksonville shooting identified. The police have officially identified 3 of the 5 men killed in a reported shootout in Jacksonville, St. Andrew on Monday. The police have names for the remaining 2 men but are waiting to confirm their identities. The 3 confirmed are 23-year-old Delian Pusey from Rectory Road in Buckner, Maypen, Clarendon, and Rasheen Andre Hebert, 30, who is of no fixed address. The third man is 26-year-old Shamor Edwards, otherwise called Andrew or Moja, from Park Lane, Kingston 19, and the Padmore District, St. Andrew. The other 2 men, police told the news, are also from the Park Lane community. The men were killed following a confrontation with the police after they were reportedly contracted to carry out a murder on Jacksonville Road. 4 firearms were seized after the incident, with an additional gun picked up in a subsequent operation. Police later reported that a 6th man had escaped from the scene. Gullibop shot dead during police confrontation in St. Andrew. A man identified as Steve Elliott, otherwise called Gullibop, was fatally shot during a reported confrontation with law enforcement officers at 85 Red Hills Road, St. Andrew on Wednesday. According to the police, Elliott, who is believed to be a known violence producer operating within the St. Andrew Police Division, was killed after he opened fire on lawmen who went in search of him. The police say during the operation to apprehend Elliott, members of the police team were met with a gunfire from the suspect. A shootout ensued, during which Elliott was shot and injured. He was transported to seek medical attention but was pronounced dead on arrival, the police said. Lawmen reportedly recovered 1 rifle, a magazine, and 3 5.56 cartridges from the scene. Man charged for chopping stepfather to death in Linstead has case to answer, court rules. Samuel Moore, who is accused of killing his stepfather in a machete attack last year, was on Wednesday remanded in the St. Catherine Parish Court after a judge ruled that he has a case to answer. Moore is charged with the murder of 55-year-old Vinton Anderson of Banbury District, Linstead, St. Catherine. The judge ruled that the Crown has made out a prima facie case of murder against him. He is scheduled to reappear in the St. Catherine Circuit Court on October 9. The incident took place on September 15, 2024 in Banbury District. Allegations are that Moore attacked Anderson with a machete, chopping him repeatedly until he collapsed, then continued to inflict wounds to his upper body. After the attack, Moore reportedly fled the area but was later captured by Linstead police. He was arrested on suspicion of murder and is subsequently charged following a question and answer session with investigators. Westmoreland man charged in double murder, accomplices still at large. A 26-year-old laborer was charged on Tuesday with the murder of 2 men in Hertford, Westmoreland last November. Javane Hines, otherwise called the Pooh of Hertford District, was charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the death of 22-year-old Jovan Locke, also known as Lucky, and 36-year-old Kemar Lawson, also known as Chargy. According to police reports, around 1:25 p.m. on November 22, Locke and Lawson were inside the house in Moras District when they were ambushed by 3 armed men who opened a fire, hitting both the victims multiple times in the upper body. Residents reportedly heard explosions and alerted the police. Cops found both the men suffering from gunshot wounds. They were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Following investigations, Hines was arrested during a police operation around 5 a.m. on Tuesday, July 22, and was later charged based on an eyewitness statement. Police say the search continues for the other suspects involved. Hines' court date is being finalized. 3 dead, 7 injured following St. Anne crash. The police are probing yet another fatal road crash involving multiple casualties, this time in St. Anne, where 3 people were killed. The crash occurred along the Queens Highway near Discovery Bay shortly after 11:20 a.m. when one vehicle reportedly veered into the path of the other. 10 people were pulled from the wreckage and rushed to hospital, where 3 were pronounced dead, and 7 others are being treated for serious injuries. 2 toddlers are among the injured. Acting Senior Superintendent Rowan Elliott, head of the St. Anne Police Division, confirmed the accident. The police have not yet released information on the identities of the deceased. Wednesday's tragedy followed Monday's single-vehicle crash along the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of Highway 2000, in which a man and his 3-year-old daughter were killed. Some 222 road fatalities have so far been recorded, 10 more than the 212 for the similar period last year. VM Group employee facing fraud charges. Fraud squad detectives have laid charges against an employee of VM Group Financial Institution after accusing him of major fraud. The employee, Christopher Russell, was arrested last week following allegations that he stole nearly $10 million from the bank. He remains in custody and is booked to appear before the St. Andrew Parish Court on August 4. Mr. Russell, 36, has been charged with several counts of larceny as a servant and the breaches of the Cybercrimes Act. It is alleged that between August 24 and May this year, Mr. Russell, who was employed as an accounting and support officer at the Duke Street branch of VM Group, used his position to access funds from several bank accounts. It's alleged that over the period in question, he transferred the funds to his personal account and other accounts held at other financial institutions. A total of $9.2 million was allegedly illegally transferred. The fraud was uncovered and he was arrested on July 16. He was charged 2 days later. Cafe seeking election observers. As the political temperature heats up, watchdog group Citizens Action for Free and Fair Elections is appealing to Jamaicans to volunteer as observers in the upcoming general election. Cafe chairman Grace Baston says at least 1,000 people are needed. Ms. Baston says so far over 300 people have signed up. Noting that a cafe would be happy with at least 1 volunteer in each polling station, the organization emphasized its goal of placing at least 1 volunteer in targeted locations.
We are looking at 22 constituencies that we think could swing in particular, and we want to make sure that we have volunteers in those places because obviously that's where the temptation to malpractice will be stronger. Well, we think so. So we want to make sure we are present in each of those locations. So I'm appealing to citizens, old, young, mature, to come forward. Our democracy is precious, it's hard earned, it's ours, it's something we should be as proud of as the accomplishments of our athletes and musicians. It's one of the oldest business of our attaining adult suffrage, being the first predominantly black nation in the world to do that. I cannot say it loud enough or often enough, but it requires, democracy is hard work. It requires us to step up and participate. So please join us as we set out to ensure that our elections are free, fair, and free from fear.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.